Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Ben. If you're new here, I teach mostly about Mpesa integration and other topics that are of concern. So if you like more about programming tips and tricks, don't forget to subscribe. And if you are my returning customer, if you're my returning subscriber, don't forget to leave a like kama kawaida, right? So today we're going to start on Daraja integration on a framework that is so easy, and I think I'm going to teach about this, but a framework that is so easy and so simple and straightforward with a very small learning curve, and that is CodeIgniter. This is something that I've never considered, but now I'm here and I'm going to do this. So today we're going to start with CodeIgniter 4.2, I believe. And this is what you're going to do, but there's a very little difference between this version of CodeIgniter and the other versions. Remember that version 4 is a complete rewrite of the previous versions of CodeIgniter. So if you are on version 3 or something, you have to upgrade your whole project, but fact remains that CodeIgniter have consistently maintained their routing, which is now the most important thing. And I'm going just to use the simplest way in which everyone will be able to integrate this project for your earlier versions or even the newest versions of CodeIgniter. So in this specific one, we're going to deal with CodeIgniter 4.2. And to start, I'm going to go and start installing my project, and I'm going to start with installation. I'm going to do it using Composer. So here I have my terminal. I'm already on that project for CodeIgniter Mpesa. I'm going to do this, and I want you to install it here, right? So CodeIgniter is just going to clone the project. You don't have to install it for those who are new. So just download the project. Once it's done, you start running. So we already have our project here, so I'm going to go in, and this is not to explain anything about Composer, or CodeIgniter. Sorry about Composer, this thing, I don't know where it's coming from, but about CodeIgniter. So I'm assuming you already have knowledge, a little knowledge on CodeIgniter. If not, just hang around, because I'm preparing very killer tutorials for CodeIgniter, and going forward I'll be giving you guys tips and tricks on CodeIgniter, because I've realized a lot of people coming into programming and they go for Laravel and other frameworks, but for those people who already know core programming of PHP but they don't know any other, if you want to go into a framework, CodeIgniter would be something very fast for you. And then gradually, as you start building complex projects, you can now go to Laravel, which has a steep learning curve kidogo. But in this project, we're going to do with CodeIgniter, right? So CodeIgniter comes with its own server, so we call it Spark. And Spark is actually like a command line tool that helps you to do a few things: creating controllers, creating models, creating migrations, creating seeds, seeding, all those things. But we'll discuss them in the tutorial for CodeIgniter. Here it's just Mpesa, so you can just run it the way you want to run it. For me, I'm going to do PHP, and if you do Spark, you'll see the whole all the commands that are available for Spark. From here we have cache clear, cache info, env, everything. So for me, this day I want to go to PHP Spark and serve like that, and my project will fire on port 88, and this is now my CodeIgniter running, as you can see. So this is the landing page, and it's inside my app views, and this is where we have it. So this project will not have maybe a front end per se. We'll do a project later where we'll maybe build an e-commerce on the same, but this project will not have anything. So if you come here and just delete these and maybe do PHP, and here we echo hello world, like that, you will see that now we have our hello world. And CodeIgniter works using controllers. So your controllers here are the ones that, or controller is the one that gives you sort of routing, so you don't have to define routing. I love about routing. So if I was doing a project on CodeIgniter, I would choose the routing way, but most people prefer not to do routes. So for me not to be able to do routes, I'll go inside my app config, and then I'll go to routes. I'm going to enable auto routing. This means that every controller we create, every method will be now or every path that will visit will be detected automatically and routed to the method in the controller. Okay, so in 4.2 you have to enable at least two things. The first one is you set auto route to true, and then you go to features here and you do the auto routes improved, change this one as well to true. Okay, now once we have that, let's create our controller for Mpesa. I'll show you. So I'm going to do PHP Spark, and Spark comes with, we had our own we had seen some few things there, so we'll do make controller, and we'll call this controller Mpesa, like that. And so you see we have created a controller. Ignore this error, is my MongoDB issue, but we have now a file created inside app path controllers Mpesa. So if we close this and go to controllers, you'll see we have our Mpesa here. Okay, and we have a default route which is index. So here I'm just going to say echo welcome to Mpesa tutorials, like that. So without doing anything more, we can just go up here, and if we change now this route from the base route to Mpesa, like that. Okay, so when you are using outer route, what you can do, you need to pass the verbs. So like this one is index, so you need to like have a prefix here of get, right? So we'll do here, instead of Mpesa, just like that, we'll do Mpesa get index, not get index actually, sorry, it's index. Oh yeah, I need to stop my server and start it. So we'll go back, reload this. As you can see, we have now welcome to Mpesa tutorials. Okay, yeah, my path here was supposed to be Mpesa, so welcome to Mpesa tutorials, and that is what we have inside here. So if we create another route here, say public, and you don't have to start with public, any function that does not have the word public is also is public. So public function get access token, and you should see the camel case that I'm using here because I want access token to be like that, and a is going to be small on my path. So I'm going to say echo get access token, like that. So if I go back here, this is Mpesa, we can do /get, not get actually, it's just access token, like that. And you can see now we are inside, we are automatically routed to the access token route. Okay, so I want to stop this at this point, but before that, now let me stop it at that point. Now let us now be serious with the work and now do generate an access token. Okay, so I'm going to use CodeIgniter's inbuilt library, which is known as call request class, this one. Okay, so this is what we're going to use to do everything that we need. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at this one. I'm going to copy this. So this one will help us to make call. It's based on Gazelle, so you can either use this or just install Gazelle, but because this already is Gazelle, so we don't need to do that one. So you can just come here, and I want to declare, let me just do a private property here called client, and inside here I want that client to be this client, to be call request options, like that. Okay, and now we go and generate our access token. So here I'm going to do response is this client requests, and what are we going to do? We're going to send a get requests, because that's the Mpesa access token way or method. It accepts get, then we'll put here the access token, the URL, the endpoint for Mpesa, and then we're going to have our data here, and we're going to have two things. And if you go here, and we want to look at what we call auth, so I'm just going to do like this. You can see we have an array, and in that array we're passing auth, username and password. So that's what I've done here, array, and then we'll just pass auth, and again this one will be another array. I like just writing the word array instead of putting those short forms. So we'll have our consumer key there and our consumer key, right? And after that we'll end this. Then we want to return this response set JSON. This is everything on CodeIgniter, and we'll just do response. And if you're using Gazelle, you do get body, like that. So this will extract the body that will be responded on here. Something else we need to add on this one is, I want to, in case we get any error, so we'll do HTTP errors, and here we'll just disable them, because one thing I've realized is if you don't do this and Gazelle gets maybe error 400, if maybe you've passed something wrong, it won't tell you the error, it will just break. Yeah, so we'd rather disable that so that we can handle the error directly from the body that we get. So let's get the two. Let's get the URL, the consumer key, and the consumer secret. So I'll go back, go to my Mpesa, login. After I'm logged in, I'll enable this one. I'm going to copy my consumer key, put it here. I'm going to copy my consumer secret, put it there. Then I'm going to have my auth URL. So I'll go to my APIs here, then I'll go to authorization, and I need this URL up here. So I'll copy this, I'll come with it and paste it here, like that. So we've not done any error handling. You can maybe wrap this and try catch and anything, but for now we don't need that. So let's see whether we're going to get the access token from that one. So I'll go back to my URL here, enter it, and we have an error, right? So where do you think we get that error from? Oh yeah, so the problem is I've initiated this one in the wrong place. It's supposed to be inside our constructor. So I'll just do constructor, and down here I'll do that one. So format document, like that. Perfect. And now we run our project again. So we go here, run it, and we have our access token. Okay, so this is just the introduction. As I've said, this is just for those people already who have projects that are working with or are built with CodeIgniter. But if you're new to CodeIgniter, don't worry, don't panic. We're going to go back and learn everything from scratch so that I can see how simple it is for you to add it to your project. So let me just do a recap before we conclude. So first, we are using the HTTP curl requests that is inbuilt with CodeIgniter. As well, you can do the same using Ghazal. So if you're on CodeIgniter that does not have, you can install Ghazal. Ghazal HTTP will have a tutorial on this again after we are done with this one. So if you have Ghazal, everything is just the same, nothing changes. So you'll have when you're getting access token, we'll send using our HTTP client, we'll send a request, a get request to the Safaricom endpoint to generate an access token. We will pass our consumer key and our consumer secret inside our auth array, and we'll disable Ghazal errors so that we don't throw any error or error 500 or any other error when we don't get 200 response. So once we get that, we return the body of this response, and that is now what we have here on our array. As you can see, this is a JSON object with access token and the time it expires. Alright, so I think that's all. This sample code is going to be on my GitHub, so feel free to go clone it or just build it as well from scratch as we go on. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Help me reach 5k, guys. I'll be very, very happy when I'll hit 5k. Okay, and share with your friends, share with all the devs that you know that in this field. Share is the goal. Okay, so thank you very much, and let's meet in our next tutorial when we'll be doing the C2B payments. Thank you very much.